welcome to the fourth part of the series, and in this video we are going to actually create the scoreboard for our game and also the best score and like tapping functionality and scoring functionality, all sort of stuff. Actually we are going to complete the game, so let's start it. So where we are, in the last video we did this animation, we also did this randomization of this segment. So what we can do is, if we go here like the game loop, you will see that we are driving the ball and we are also checking the ball collision, and with ball collision we are also changing the is under collision here. Now what we can do is, here we can create a method called handle taps. Now this tap can be from any device, that is your finger on a touchscreen or a mouse click on a desktop or a spacebar. We can just handle anything. So just think of like there is a tap event on the screen. What we want is, if is under collision, then we want to increase the score by 1, like that's what we want. Now what we also want is, for every time there is an increase in score, we also want to increase the speed by some margin, so that the difficulty of game will increase by a certain margin for every score a player scored here. So just give it a speed here and save a value of like score divided by like 10,000, because we only want a small increase. We don't want like in a single second the ball will be in a rocket speed, so no one will get past it. Now, and what if we check the ball, if we tap when the ball is not under collision, we just want to game over, we have to create this method. So what this method will do is game over here. This will do, first of all we have to create some of the flags here, that is boolean is playing, that is if the game is running, boolean is game over, and should not be game over in the initial, so we want this one. And one more thing that we want is, if we want to keep track of the best score, we can just take it here, like initialize with best score here first of all, or what we can do is initialize with -1, so that we can know that the game has been run one time at least, so that we can hide it if it is -1. Now let's go down, and if we game over, what it will do is game over will be true first of all, and is playing will be false, and the next step will be to actually check record break. Let's just name it record break. What this method will do is, it will check and define it here. What this method will do is, it will check whether the best score is less than the current score, and if it is less than current score, we will just save the score in the best score. And once we are done with it, we will just reset the score to 0, and that's what we want here to do. That's all what we want. And since we are checking for if the play is going on, we also want to actually something to start the game. So what we can do in the start is to create a start game. So what this method will do is to reset everything like true, and is game over will be false. And since we are already resetting this code, we don't need to reset it again. What we want again is, actually we also want to set the speed to be its initial value, that is 1.5. What we can also do is to randomize the segment. This is not needed, but we can do it, so let's just do it. And what we can also do is to increase the possibility of success, is just to check whether is game is currently playing. If it is playing, then we are going to check whether it is in collision or not, because if it is not playing, then we don't want to handle the tap, because if it is still handling the tap, it won't be scoring. So I guess we are done here. What we can do is, inside the game board we have a value that is child. What we can do is enter here and actually print the score here. And actually let's give it a style of, let's get the theme. And we also want it to set it in the center, so let's just wrap it in the center and save it. Now what we also want is to add a gesture recognizer. So we can add here a gesture detector so that we can detect the tap event. So if we are on tap, we want to check whether the game is still playing or not. If it is playing, then we want to handle the tap here. But if it is not playing, we want to start the game. What we also want is to change the text based on what actually going on. Is actually if is playing is on. If it is playing, then we want to show the score. But if it is not playing, that means if it is not playing, we want to actually show, but actually what we want to show is actually move this from here. We want to put it inside the center here, and what we want to do is give it an icon button and just make it start game. It will just start the game. And what we can do is give it an icon of play icon, and give it a size of like 62 or like 60. That's we want. And if we save it, you will see we have a play button here. But even though if I tap outside, actually this is what it is handling. If we tap outside, you will see the game is actually overing. Now if you see it clearly, it means that this playing is true here. But what we also want is we want to see what's the score. Now if I tap inside the segment, we are scoring a point. We score once, then we score twice. But if I tap outside, the game overs and the is playing is set to false. Now we also want to show whether the game is overed or not. So what we can do is put this inside column and wrap this widget inside the expanded so it won't complain us. And outside we can just check whether is game overed or not. If it is over, we are just gonna say that the game is over and your max score is something. Game over here, and what we want is best score is best score. And what we also want is text align it to center. Now if I play it again and if I tap inside, we score once, but if I tap outside, you will see we are printing game over and best score. Though it's not very good looking, we can just set the size to 5 and give a padding around it of like 12 would be good. Now if I save it and we just get out, we are game over and our best score is this. But if you see it clearly, it is actually hovering outside it. You will see, yes, it is shrinked. It gets shrinked. Now what is the problem is, okay, why is that? If we go up, we go again up. Okay, so this is the issue. And if we remove it from here and also remove this from here, you will see we have a very big circle here. Now what we can do is size box here, size box dot square, and give it a dimension of 300 that we can have our older widget style. Okay, I guess this is what it is doing now. You can just remove the flexible, it does not matter here now. If we get out, we will be seeing it here. Now what we can do is main axis alignment the dot center, and we will have our widget in the center. Now even if we get out, now you will see that even I am tapping outside, if I am tapping outside the box, you'll see there is nothing happening. But if I tap inside, I get this. This is because gesture detector only work on the surface. That means if there is surface. Now the padding does not have a surface, column is also not having a surface, center is also not having a surface, but gameboard is having a surface, which is just this dimension. So to give a surface to our gesture detector to the whole screen, what we can do is wrap our padding widget with a material. This material will give a whole surface to it. That means even if we tap outside, this is going to work. Now what we also missing here is, first of all, let's just get rid of this debug painting, is that even though it is rotating and even though we are scoring, the segment is not moving from its original position. What we can do is, when we actually score anything, we also want to randomize the segment again. So we copy this method here and paste it inside here, and you will see that now every time when we score, the position changes. You see, it is actually scoring, and our best score is also working. So here is the basic version of the game, and you can actually play it. Yes, that's it for this video, and you can actually share this game with your friends or family to have fun. So let's see you in the next video. Bye bye.